Well, now that we're into the art historical aspect, we have to point out that this was done around the same time as his, perhaps more famous painting, Guernica.
Right.
And we can see some similarities, but to me, the most obvious difference is the use of color, right?
hmm
So, what you wanted to say something about Guernica, so go ahead.
What I'm going to say is just going to be sound, what anyone can look up. But maybe if someone is just listening to our podcasts, they probably do want a quick explanation. So the basic story behind Guernica is that Guernica is a town in the Basque Country in Spain, which was bombed in 1937, I believe, during the Spanish Civil War. Bombed by the Luftwaffe, the Nazi Air Force. Hitler was aiding Franco
Yes.
in his attempts to overthrow the Republican government in Spain, and Picasso was so disturbed by this bombing that he immediately took to work on Guernica, and it was intended to be displayed at the World Pavilion in Paris. Um, yeah, and it's become one of the most iconic paintings of the 20th century, and it kind of it represents the horrors of war and what humanity are capable of, and obviously the two world wars are kind of like the still remain like the most imprinted events of like what humanity is capable of, and did so much to art afterwards as well. Like if we think about existentialism and just the way that art kind of classical art was kind of demolished by war. So anyway, it's a huge painting, a massive painting of various cubist, I guess you could reduce it to that, cubist images of pain on different people's faces, on a horse's face, and all kind of at the moment of destruction, of bombing. So it's like really capturing that immediate aftermath of being bombed. But you can take over.
Well, that painting was displayed at the UN, wasn't it? And
Yes, more
then,
recently,
yeah,
more
and
recently.
then, and then, when Colin Powell wanted to make a speech arguing for the invasion of Iraq, the illegal, criminal invasion of Iraq, the speech was to be given with that as the backdrop, right? And then what happened?
Right. Well, they just immediately just considered the irony and the harrowing contrast between what he was about to say, and they just covered it up with a blue a blue curtain.
Smart. Remember that, propagandists. If you want to sell a war, don't do it in front of Guernica.